Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live at the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. On today's episode, Bound for Glory's coming up tonight. That's right, we've got our predictions. We've got the go-home episode of Impact Television to review. So we're going to be doing that. Speaking of Bound for Glory, we're going to be doing our live watch-along of that along with Smackdown. Tonight we'll have all our TV screens up, doing predictions on one, probably reacting to different things on the other one. It's going to be like that John C. Reilly gif, Larson.
Yeah, I was going to say the Steve Brule.
Yeah, the Steve Brule gif, yeah. There you go. Can somebody clip that and gif it, please, of Larson doing that, because that's hilarious. So anyways, we're going to be doing that tonight. Should be a lot of fun. Of course, tomorrow night, Extreme Rules at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Speaking of Extreme Rules, our unofficial Extreme Rules predictions are up right now at Friendo Club TV. I think by and large we'll probably adhere to those, but you know, based on the flow of the show, based on how the scores are kind of shaken out post Bound for Glory, someone might roll the dice, take a chance. Who knows?
Take a chance. Yeah, man, absolutely. It's honestly there's a couple matches on there that you, me, and Enforcer we're all doing the hem and haw on it. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do I go? Do I go with the flow? Do I go with like, okay, what is Larson saying? Oh, do I go with that, or do I? I don't know. So do I play defense or offense? Predictions are up right now at Friendo Club. We also have a TikTok now. I put up our second TikTok today. It's at the TikTok at the Friendo Club, I think is the name of the thing. So if y'all are been on TikTok and you're looking for some, I edit together, little minute-long clips or whatever. So check that out. It's pretty fun. It's just sort of clips from the show. And then I might do a thing where like I talk about the predictions, like put up a little thing of our predictions on there too. I don't know. I'm still learning how to do the damn thing, Larson.
Yeah, I don't know anything about TikTok.
Tomorrow, right after our watch along, we're not doing a recap. We're going to save our recap till like Monday or something like that.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, right after Extreme Rules, like during Extreme Rules, basically, at 7 p.m. Pacific. At 7 p.m. Pacific here in Sacramento, at the Action Coast Wrestling Arena, there at the Vita Del Oro Center in Sacramento. You can get tickets on Eventbrite right now. Action Coast Wrestling. Action Coast Wrestling. This is the most important event in our lives. Like, marriage, nothing. Children, nothing. Owning a wrestling promotion? Yeah.
Kind of a huge deal.
Kind of a massive deal. Resting and away from Joe DeSole? Yeah, huge deal. And it's all on the line. In the main event, we're going to be rushing from the Extreme Rules watch-along over there, busting down them doors. We'll paying our tickets because we're still paying.
Yeah.
We
haven't owned the company yet. We can't get in free gratis yet.
Right, we don't own the thing yet, but we've been assured that it's in the bag. Alpha Zoe yesterday on the Twitter said it's in the bag. Got it in the bag, right? So we're gonna go and sign those papers tomorrow after the good guys beat Team Scumbag, Team Magnum Zoe Flacco Loco beat.
Yeah.
Team DeSole. So that's going down tomorrow. So if you guys want to be there, if you guys want to witness history in person,
yes,
and maybe get an autograph from me and Larson if you want that, which would be weird.
I'll have a pen.
He has a pen with 4 different colors on it. Come down to Action Coast Wrestling Eventbrite. Get your tickets there. Come on.
Choose which color. I write my name. And
then afterwards, assuming Team Good Guys win, we'll own the company. We're going to do a media scrum immediately afterwards.
Well, I mean, we got to hope there's someone there that's going to ask questions.
Is anybody going to be there to ask questions? I don't know.
Lenny, I'm saying.
Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about today on the show. So let's talk about it. We've got the Vince documentary gets its own air date. There's another WWE release. Saraya, her wrestling status is now apparently confirmed with AEW. And then we got another AEW talent. Oh, the people aren't too happy with him. But first, so, dude, it's been forever, seemingly now. It's been over a month since Brawl Out happened backstage after the media scrum at All Out. And in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that, quote, "We've been hearing a decent amount about the investigation behind Brawl Out over the past week, largely that threatened legal action has stalled everything, and nobody has been let go yet, including Ace Steel. There is no time frame for anyone to return at this point. Meltzer added on the Wrestling Observer message boards that, quote, one person has threatened legal action and has been uncooperative. So the Elite, Kenny Omega, CM Punk, they all exist in a state of legal limbo.
Well, Ace Steel, too.
I was talking about people who I want to, or who have been on my TV on a regular basis.
All right.
They're all in a state of limbo, including, the dude who likes to bite people, allegedly. People threatening legal action. I got to make sure I throw my allegedlys in there, Larson.
Yeah.
They're all in a state of limbo. They're like in the Phantom Zone there, man.
Yeah.
Because somebody...
Like Zod and Ursa and Non.
Somebody's being uncooperative, and they're threatening legal action. Wow. Wowie wow. This isn't shocking. Because here's the thing. There's a lot of money on the table here, regardless of who we're talking about. If we're talking about the Elite, Punk, well, not Ace. I don't know how much Ace Steel's getting paid. He's not getting paid nearly as much as them.
Yeah, he's a producer, so he's definitely not getting paid anywhere near what the Elite or Punk is.
Right. But a lot of money on the table. I mean, I don't know exactly how much that contract was CM Punk signed, but I imagine it's probably
massive,
in the tens of thousands of dollars. No, I imagine it's probably in the millions of dollars. And when that much money is on the table, plus whatever future income, and let's just sort of focus on Punk for a second here. Whatever future income he might have been expecting, he ain't going to WWE, beyond this. I mean, I don't know if he's making the case, or if he wanted to make the case. You guys have kind of ruined, because of your shenanigans, my situation.
Money making potential in the future, yes.
I could see a lawyer maybe trying to make that case. Now, whether or not, the court of Steve would be like, oh yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I would think they would need to have some evidence that if the crux of the case is the leaked rumors about the whole Colt Cabana stuff, then you would think that Phil and his legal team would need to have some evidence that the Young Bucks and Kenny were responsible for those leaks.
Well, regardless of what it is, I agree. And I don't know if
the idea is that, if it's just the idea is that we don't know who's threatening legal action. We don't know.
Well, instead of getting into specifics, I could see a case being generally made about some sort of hostile work environment. You know what I mean? Like, these are the EVPs. They're trying to... So I could see that being made. I don't know what kind of case necessarily would be made on the Elite. If it's the Elite, I don't know. But I think that it's possible that they could. I just don't know. You know what I mean? I could see somebody in Punk's position, given what we know about what happened, and he was the focal point of everything. I could see it being him, and there being a case there, which is why I could see it being him. From the Elite standpoint, I'm not sure what their case would be or what gripe they would have. So I can't really. It's difficult to speculate on.
And I think we've discussed it on the show in the past about something along those lines where Punk would potentially file suit because these rumors about him potentially costing Colt his job in AEW, painted him in a bad light in his estimation, led to this, and therefore he can't make money in the wrestling industry. I don't know what kind of legal basis that would stand on, and what kind of evidence he would need to prove his case.
Yeah.
But as you said, that's something, that I would be surprised if it crossed somebody's mind if they thought, well, I signed this massive contract, I'm about to lose my job. If he thinks they're the reason why this all happened in the first place,
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, oh, you didn't do enough to stop it. You didn't do enough to, protect my image. I could see a case being made there. On, like I said, on the other side with the Elite. Could be them. I don't know. Nobody knows. But I'm sort of, I don't really know what their case would be or what their complaint would be necessarily, unless it was like, hey, we had the top lawyer in AEW with us, and we've been off TV now for a month. But then
that could be
threatening
the thing,
legal
like,
action be stalling that even further? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there was a impartial witness to the entire thing.
Yeah.
yet we've been off TV for a month and potentially, I don't know what their pay is outside of, whether it's downside and then merch and stuff, because I would imagine they're losing out on merch money not being on TV and selling merch. Merch
right.
at shows. I don't even know if they're selling their merch at shows right now because they're suspended.
I have no idea.
Don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how long this can last. I mean, we saw the last thing anything close to a legal impasse was between Tony Khan or AEW and MJF. A much different situation.
Yes.
Simply about, hey, I think I'm worth more than you're paying me. I understand my contract situation, but I'm not going to come back until, we figure that out. And then they figured it out. So who knows? This can't go on forever.
You wouldn't think so. You wouldn't think so.
I don't know. Maybe it will.
I mean, if there is some lawsuit filed and things are tied up in court for a while, and AEW, Tony Khan's stance is, I can't have anybody involved in this on TV until everything is settled.
Could be a while, huh?
It could be a while.
Yeah.
It could be a while.
Yeah.
And, court proceedings take a while to proceed.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is some sort of lawsuit, I guess in theory, I don't know about in practice, but in theory, it could be a while before we see anybody, Punk, Young Bucks, Kenny on TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which would be a shame.
I mean, I'm sure AEW's philosophy is we want to get this
quietly and quickly taken care of. Yeah,
you would just quickly take care of, and I'm sure that's part of the reason they're doing such a thorough investigation is to cover all their bases. Should some sort of suit be filed, or maybe part of this investigation is negotiating with the various parties about how they're going to handle it. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let's continue on with AEW disgruntled talent. In this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer offered up some details about AEW talent being angry with Andrade El Idolo following his brawl with Sammy Guevara prior to this Wednesday's Dynamite, stating, quote, privately, some of the key talent is even more upset with Andrade than would be otherwise because of the timing of this happening, Andrade being fully aware of it, and how this made the company look to the public. The problem is that it made AEW look like out-of-control chaos at a time so shortly after the CM Punk, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega situation that the company didn't speak publicly about and all disappeared. That's sort of, man, if you take some pride in where you work and you're like, hey, man, we got to get this place into shape and have a good perception and be a place where, talent who might be, on the fence, do I re-sign with WWE? Do I enter free agency, et cetera, et cetera? We want to be a destination location for people, for other talent. And we want this place to have a good reputation and positive morale. Yeah, I could see how they'd be upset about this.
Yeah, then they look and talk to people and they find out it's like the thoroughfare in Deadwood, No law,
No law in Deadwood.
I mean, we spoke about this throughout the week about how, especially after especially the Brawl Out one, a very high profile case of violence breaking out backstage between AEW talents. It's just not that there's ever a good time to get into a fight with your coworker, but this is an especially bad time for that to happen in AEW because it seems like, by all accounts, they had that locker room meeting after Brawl Out. By all accounts, things seem to be moving in a better direction, and then this happens. And I imagine for people who are locker room leaders, if you will, in AEW, this could be a bit demoralizing.
Yeah.
I imagine maybe even for Tony Khan, who maybe has spoken to people as well, saying, hey, keep your dirty laundry off social media, handle it backstage. This could be a bit demoralizing. But, I guess this is the rest. I mean, I watched Tales from the Territories, the first episode last night. Back then, this type of stuff just seemed to happen all the time.
Oh, yeah. Eyes were coming out and everything. Yeah. Yeah, it is. But, it's again, back then, it's such a different era.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, this stuff, Meltzer was chatting up some fans, usually those with like 12 followers or so, shooting back at them about, oh, this makes them look terrible. And yeah, it does. It's not a great look. And yeah, it's happened in a number of other, places across the decades. It's happened quite a bit. But it is a little bit different. There's so much money these days at stake. and these huge TV deals, and they're going to be up for another one soon. And you just, and it's just, things are different now. Like it's not about duffel bags with drugs and guns and stuff like that. It's a different environment from what we understand, from what everybody has talked about.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It's I can understand why they'd be upset with that. And
definitely.
And
definitely.
yeah, I don't, if I'm WWE and I'm looking at this, I'm not sure I'm waiting for Andrade to get released so that I can bring him into my company, because I don't know, like ever since Triple H took over, we've kind of heard, and Stephanie and Nick Khan, we've heard nothing but sort of good things backstage about WWE, in general anyways. And that's a big difference between what we used to hear. You have a quizzical look on your face. What's up?
Well, Brew Crew Bomber here says, in Sean Ross Sapp's report, management specifically told Andrade that they wouldn't fire him if he started a fight.
That doesn't sound, I don't remember reading that.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing. Could you link us to that?
Yeah, do you have like the actual quote from the Fightful report?
Yeah.
Because that
doesn't. I have yet to see that. So
yeah, that doesn't sound right. So anyways, it'll be interesting to see again how that all turns out. Got some better news for a new AEW talent.
Yes.
Saraya, formerly known as Paige in the WWE. She was throwing hands on screen in a scripted manner with Britt Baker on Dynamite this Wednesday.
Yes.
Which is totally good and above board and entertaining. But that fueled speculation, of course, that she's been cleared by AEW. In the latest newsletter, Meltzer states Saraya was officially cleared by Dr. Michael Sampson of AEW. She looks to be feuding with Britt Baker. They got into it. It was short. You couldn't really tell how Saraya looked after so many years not wrestling. So, man, I'm always concerned about the health of the talent, man, because I think
first
highly
and foremost,
of these people.
Of anything else, yeah.
And I want them to be safe and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully, they checked her neck over 1 trillion different times in different ways, and everything's all good. Yeah, Larson, what's up?
There's some other people here in chat that are saying that Meltzer was the one who mentioned. Brooker Bomber says it was Meltzer that made that claim that management told Andrade that he wouldn't be fired if he started a fight. Meltzer made that claim, not Sean Ross Sapp.
That's weird.
I don't know why you'd even say that. Hey, don't fight, but if you do, you won't be fired. Like what?
Yeah. They also heard that Andrade was told he wouldn't be fired in the event of a fight, which we haven't confirmed ourselves, talking about Sean Ross Sapp. Brew Brahmer, thank you very much for clarifying.
Yes, thanks for clarifying that. Yeah, I had not seen that before. So if it was said by somebody, I'll make sure it was sourced correctly.
I'm gonna file that one under. I'll need some more confirmation.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean,
because what's the point in issuing a warning if you say, hey, don't fight, but if you do, don't worry about it,
Under what context would that be said anyways? I'm going to come to Dynamite and beat him up, yes? And they're like, no, can you not do that?
But
are you going to fire me? Well, no. If you start a fight, no, we're not going to fire you. Okay, good, making sure.
I know.
I don't know, I'll file that one under... okay.
Wait and see. Yeah, see if there's more information.
Was Meltzer's source Bondrade? his good friend La Bombra. I don't know about all that, man. So anyways, Saraya wrestling, man. That's cool for her. Again, hopefully everything's great.
Yeah. Hopefully, that her neck is in a good enough shape where it can handle. I mean, I would be really surprised if it was a sort of full-time schedule at this point. Maybe, they'll bring her back in, have her do a few matches to see how things go, and then, if it seems like her neck could hold up, more at that point. But yeah, I mean, first and foremost is the health and well-being of the wrestlers. And we don't want to see anybody get hurt, especially when it has to do with anything with neck or spine issues.
Yeah, right. No, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. All right, let's take a quick break here to get a word in from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Larson?
Yes, Steve.
We've been seeing more and more professional athletes speaking out about the importance of mental health these days. And there's been several top stars that have taken time away to tend to their own mental well-being. But pro athletes aren't the only ones who need to take care of their mental health. and therapy is the best way for anybody to stay in peak mental shape.
Yeah, I was there myself about 20 years ago in my mid-20s. I started dealing with severe anxiety, and it got to the point where I realized that I needed to go to therapy. But back then, finding the right therapist was difficult. It took me quite a while. But once I found someone I felt comfortable talking to, I started learning the tools necessary to better deal with my anxiety. Now, BetterHelp is a great option because it makes the process of finding a therapist much more convenient and accessible. The whole process is done online, so you don't have to leave your house. And all you got to do to get connected with a therapist is fill out a quick survey. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time.
So when you're ready to feel at the top of your mental health game, therapy can get you there. Visit BetterHelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
Before we get back to the show, let's get a word from our sponsor, Raycon. Steve, I know you know this. Most mornings, I try to get a workout in before we start working. I like to listen to some music to pump myself up when I'm trying to make some gains.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And lately, I've been listening to a lot of stuff from the 90s. Popped on my Prime Grunge playlist today, and that Prime Grunge is sounding better than ever through my Raycon wireless earbuds.
Oh, man, I bet you're listening to some Jesus Jones. You know, Raycon's everyday wireless earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever. They've got a great in-ear fit thanks to optimized gel tips. And, you know, speaking of that great in-ear fit, Larson, I understand you're going to perform a demonstration of that fit right here, right now. Isn't that right?
Yes, right here, right now. I will demonstrate this awesome in-ear fit of my Raycon wireless earbuds. I will shake my head, and they will not budge at all. Take a look at this. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, man, he is shaking his head so hardcore right now. Look at that. Lee looks like he's on a headbanger's ball right now, and those Raycons are not coming out at all. They're not moving.
They're not moving.
The Raycon wireless earbuds also offer 3 sound profiles that match up to your audio experience to whatever you're listening to. If you're into podcasts like Going In Raw, then put your Raycon wireless earbuds on the pure sound profile. But if you're listening to some rock, switch over to the balance profile. Or if you're listening to some hip hop or EDM like Jesus Jones, switch over to the bass profile.
And Raycon wireless earbuds also offer 2 different modes. You got noise isolation mode for like when I want to block out the outside world and rock out while I'm lifting weights, or awareness mode for when I'm listening to a podcast or some music in the background while I'm getting some stuff done around the house.
Absolutely. And Raycons, they're priced right. You get that quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands. So go to buyraycon.com today and use code RAW15 to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's code RAW15 at buyraycon.com to score 15% off. Buyraycon.com, code RAW15. Let's talk about this. Is a bummer. Favorite of ours, Ring of Honor legend Nigel McGuiness, also WWE commentator, doing work for UK before it was shuttered, and then Level Up on NXT. After the news yesterday, WWE was shaken up their broadcasting teams for Raw, SmackDown, NXT. PW Insider reports WWE has parted ways with Nigel McGuiness. What a drag. I really enjoy his work, and I wish it was on a larger stage than Level Up in UK.
He's an exceptional commentator.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
So good.
Yeah, he is.
He is really so good. And it's you know, maybe it's one of those situations too where it's kind of tied to whatever the fate is of NXT UK and NXT Europe. You know, we've talked about why they release so many people in UK. And, you know, I guess the speculation that we had was essentially, well, maybe they're letting people go so they can go work while they try to figure out what NXT Europe is. And then once that's in place and ready to go, then they can contact people about whether they want to come back or not, essentially. Kind of what happened with Ring of Honor when they shut down and then Tony Khan bought them. Maybe it's something similar with Nigel. But I don't know. I mean, it's to a degree, it's surprising how you'd have someone who's so talented that you could use in some capacity, I would think, and not utilize him because he is so good.
Yeah,
he would be awesome on Raw. He'd be awesome on SmackDown. He's been awesome on every show he's been on.
Yeah, with the exception of Booker T, I would have rather Nigel be on any of the like take any of the other guys out and put Nigel in. And I'm not talking shit about the other guys. Nigel was that good. I would put him up there with like the top guys that I want to see. Like, you take Corey Graves out, put Nigel in, I'll be happy.
Him and Michael Cole were awesome together.
Yeah.
Awesome together.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah, absolutely. But hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, he'll land someplace where we can hear his voice and his commentary, man.
Exactly. I mean, if they're looking for a third member of the Ring of Honor commentary team with Caprice and Ian, Tony Khan should give Nigel a call.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about this. We had heard reports about Vice working on their own Vince McMahon documentary. Now it has it's an air date. According to Dave Meltzer, the 2-hour doc entitled The 9 Lives of Vince McMahon will air on Vice on October 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So
I'll be watching that.
Like a cat man. Sorry, that was stupid. Sexy cat, Vince McMahon. Always at him now. Oh man, let's talk about Bound for Glory, man.
Yeah, let's do that. So we had our go home episode of Impact last night.
How about that fucking contract signing sequence? Masha Slamovich is so fucking awesome. She's only like 24 years old, dude.
Yeah,
she debuted crazy. Just in 2016.
That's crazy. She's
and
so
that
good.
bit where she talked, in the Russian, and then Jordan was like, "What does that mean? Masha's gonna kill you." That was so fucking cool. That was cool.
That was cool. Let's get into our predictions here before we get into the breakdown of the show. I'm sure we'll talk about some things here. First match I got here is this Collier shot gauntlet match. There's 20 people in it so far. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 names have been announced. PCO, Rich Swann, Giselle Shaw, Heath, Bhupinder. You got Bob Fish in this. Macklin, Moose, Callahan, Johnny Swinger, Killer Kelly, Tasha Steele, Savannah Evans, Joe Hendry, and Eric Young are the announced competitors so far. That would leave 5 names. Steve, who you got winning this Collier shot battle royal?
Man, I boiled it down to 2 people. There's 2 scenarios I see playing out. One is too similar to last year, and that would be Eric Young, because he's got all the violence guys running around.
Yeah,
I think it'd be weird to see him get eliminated, because they're building him up into something really sinister, and I'm really fucking digging it. And I could see, I'll put it this way, I could see him leaving Bound for Glory as champion the same way Moose did last year. Now that might be too much like what they did last year, so I got another option as well.
Well, then Josh Alexander already feuded with Eric Young earlier.
That's the other thing. You're absolutely right. That's the other thing. He already did that. So it could be that he'll win and then he'll wait around for that, because this is a new iteration of with the violent stuff and all the yellow hoodies. The other option would be Killer Kelly. And I understand that you got Tasha Steele, and I don't know if Savannah's in it, but Savannah's going to be around.
Yeah, Savannah is listed here on Wikipedia. So.
Okay. But I know that they could continue this feud, but they're sort of in a pickle right now where you've got 2 people who are dominant, Masha and Killer Kelly. I mean, you also had Jordan Grace, but you got Masha and Killer Kelly. Masha's got a title match tonight, and if Killer Kelly wins this, then they could do the Josh Alexander thing with her, where Masha goes through like a killer match with Jordan. Masha's super over right now. Killer Kelly comes in and cashes in at the end, and she pulls the Moose from last year. That's a possibility as well. So I gotta sort of sort it out in my head. Like Eric Young, I don't know who's gonna eliminate him. He's got all these yellow hoodies to help him out.
I mean, here's a possibility. This is a gauntlet match, so I would assume it's 1-on-1 and standard rules would apply. So DQs would apply. If it's more a show of force for Violent by Design and have all the people in yellow hoodies.
Well, it's a gauntlet,
but
it's also an over the top rope thing. It's an over the top rope thing. You didn't watch the rules video yesterday?
It was kind of on, and I was probably doing something else.
I barely paid attention to the rules, but I do remember that much. It starts off with two people. That. Every couple minutes, more people come in, and you can get.
And then the last two have a standard one-on-one bout.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, that I got it. So right now, who are you saying? EY, or are you going with Killer Kelly?
Fuck if I know.
Right Give me now, a name. You can change it later.
I know. I'll say Killer Kelly with 1.
All right. So here's my idea for who's going to win this and how it'll play into the main event.
Yeah.
So right now, I got PCO winning this with 1 confidence point.
Yes.
And he's going to win. And he's thinking, I'm going to cash in the main event, not after it's over, but during the match.
Yeah.
Maybe he won't even successfully do it, but he'll entertain the idea, and that's going to drive Ed Edwards so insane that Josh Alexander is going to beat him.
Oh, I love it. That's a great idea. That's a really cool idea. I like that a lot. The problem is PCO loves to fly off stuff. So if anybody's going to go over but yeah, I know. I think that's a terrific idea. They've been obviously building up the Ed Edwards PCO stuff. Another thing last night also, we'll talk about this more in our predictions, I guess, but like the whole thing where Alicia Edwards was appealing to Ed Edwards.
Well, essentially gave him an ultimatum.
I know, and I'm like, okay, well, is that ultimatum going to include her screwing over Josh Alexander? Josh Alexander's wife, I think, used to be a wrestler as well. So I don't know how that's all going to play out. We'll talk about that more here coming up. Yeah. But first, after that, we've got Mia Yim versus Mickie James. I got Mickie James with 6 confidence points. She's not.
I got Mickie with 7.
Because what is she calling it? The last rodeo?
Yeah. So if she loses,
she's done.
She's not saying she'll retire, but they were saying her career's over. So
yeah,
I got Mickie with 7. She's not losing.
Yeah,
she's not losing.
We've got Vexed, the team of Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green versus Taya and Jessica. I got Taya and Jessica getting those titles back with 3 confidence points. I might go up to 4 on that one.
I feel like the build of this one has been very one-sided in that it's been focused almost exclusively on Taya and Jessica and Rosemary.
It has been. Yeah, it has been. Yeah,
like we hadn't seen Vexed in a couple weeks until last night's episode. I will probably change in advance of the show because I'm going to think about it some more. But right now, I'm saying Vexed retains. Because I feel like there's probably more story they could get out of this Taya, Jessica, Rosemary thing until either they split up or there's a title victory.
Last year at Bound for Glory, the Inspiration defeated Havoc and Rosemary, who came in as champions. They do. I mean, this is Bound for Glory. It's their big thing. They tend to do title changes. Well, I guess not. Josh Alexander. Yeah. They tend to do title changes more often than not. I mean, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 title changes last time out of 9 matches.
I don't think I have any.
I love it.
Now that I look at it, I don't have any. So if that's the case, I might very well change this one. There's one.
Next up, we've got the Honor No More.
Well, also, I didn't put on here because I'm sure we're starting at 5. There's a kickoff show match. It's Brian Myers defending that digital media title.
He's losing that title.
Yeah.
I don't know who. He's losing that title.
But he's losing it. Yeah. There's your title change for the
day. There was somebody I was thinking of that isn't signed that would be perfect for Impact that has a strong social media presence, and I can't figure out who. I don't remember who it was. I don't remember who. I was thinking the other. I was like, oh, they're going to bring that guy in. Oh, I'm going to look like a genius. Now I can't remember who it was.
Should have written it down.
I know, right? Yeah, so he's going to lose that to whoever's going to show up.
Yep. Speaking of title bouts, we got one for the tag titles. Honor No More champs taking on Motor City Machine Guns. Alex Shelley beat Matt Taven on Impact last night. Therefore, Honor No More retains. I got 4 confidence points on that happening.
Copy and paste. Good, buddy.
Next, another title bout for the X Division title. Mike Bailey, Speedball, taking on Frankie Kazarian. Again, no title change. Speedball, 5 confidence points.
I got only 5. Wow, I got Bailey with all. I got Bailey with 7. This is going to be the one rare occasion when an AEW wrestler loses to anybody outside of AEW.
The only thing I'm thinking is they might go with the idea that Bailey has been doing too much too soon. So he's got like 9 title defenses in 2 months or whatever.
Yeah.
And so sort of like the Darby Allin story when he was TNT champ, he just did too much. That's still, I think he's going to win, but that's the reason I kind of tempered my my confidence point value. Next for the Knockouts championship, Jordan Grace champion versus Masha Slamovich. Steve, who do you got?
I know what the go home math tells us. I've got Masha with 2. She's undefeated. Jordan's already got a ton of titles under her belt. So it really doesn't hurt her much to take this loss to Masha. I could go back and look at some of the go-home math for like previous pay-per-views. I think Impact's kind of willy-nilly about stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to inform you much of anything.
Yeah. But no, I got Masha here with 2 confidence points. I could see it going either way. I mean, the only other thing, I can't lower this to 1 because then I'd take away my call, my shot.
On this gauntlet match. I know.
Yeah, I'm going to lose that for sure. So I got Masha with 2. It might change between now and 5 p.m. or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah. Right now I got Jordan with 2. Part of it is the go-home math, but part of it's also what she said in her promo before she signed the deal, which is essentially Masha's had a lot of success early, and she hasn't learned how to deal with a loss, defeat. Yeah. She hasn't learned from losing. She's had all wins, no learns.
Yeah.
And for someone who's just starting out in Impact, maybe they're gonna. What would be really cool is if the Knockouts title match happens early in the show, Masha loses, puts herself in the Collier shot gauntlet, and then wins that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's
how you deal with a loss.
Exactly. Well, like immediately, I lost. Bang! This is how I come back from that.
Yeah. And then
if you're the one to tell that story, that'd be a cool way to do it.
She finds Jordan backstage. Match now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I got, again, a lot of this depends on where it lands on the card too.
Yeah, right.
I got Jordan Grace with 2.
All right, there you go.
And then you got your main event, Josh Alexander versus Ed Edwards. Steve,
I got Josh Alexander with 5, but it's not the typical Josh Alexander with 7. It's not Josh with all, because I think that, I don't know, this feud. So I know this feud is only like 2 months old. It feels like it's 6 months old.
I know.
Because there's been so much talking. And I think that sort of gives it a level of importance. But it wouldn't shock me at all if like the Collier shot entered in this as well. Wouldn't shock me if Alicia Edwards entered in this. You still have all of Honor No More. They've been talking endlessly about having all those titles. It wouldn't shock me if they're like, hey, we're gonna have Josh Alexander chase the title again. And it'll be similar to what happened last year, or they won't even involve the Call Your Gauntlet guy. I don't know, or choose your shot, whatever. Choose your shot, call your shot. So wouldn't shock me if it was Ed Edwards, but I got Josh with 5, which is still a pretty strong statement right there.
Yeah, I got Josh with 6. Ed Edwards already pinned Josh Alexander 2 weeks ago at Victory Road. He's not pinning him again.
Yeah,
not going to happen.
Yeah,
not going to happen. If Alicia Edwards gets involved, it's going to be to cost Ed Edwards this match. Going to have Alicia and PCO both out there to cost Ed Edwards this match. Josh Alexander's totally winning.
There you go. So there you go. There's our Bound for Glory predictions. We're going to be watching that live tonight. We're going to be doing the Steve Brule gift, though, because SmackDown's going to be, I think a lot of stuff's going on at SmackDown tonight, too. We're going to talk about that.
Well, then there's also Rampage and Battle of the Belts tonight, too.
I'm watching that shit. I'll watch it on Sunday. Battle of the Belts starts at, 11?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Is that Pacifico? That's our time, 11?
Yeah. That's because it's live.
That. Yeah. Oh my God.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, but if we get the East Coast feed, it'll be 8:00 our time. Right is Bound for Glory.
Oh yeah, well that's what I meant. Like live.
Oh,
yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Impact last night. I thought it was a pretty solid go home. There was a lot of recap. There was a lot of like video packages.
Yeah, especially in the first half of it, there was a lot of recaps.
Yeah. It kicked off with Kenny King versus Frankie Kazarian. I didn't realize I did a little research. Kenny King's been wrestling for a fucking long time. Mm-hmm. He was in the 2002 or 2005 Tough Enough. Mm-hmm. I thought that was kind of interesting. I didn't really know much about the guy because I haven't really paid much attention to his career.
Yeah, no, he's a Ring of Honor. He was obviously an Impact for a spell because it was a 3-time X Division champ. He's a Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
He was on The Bachelorette too.
Oh, that? Oh, I think I did know that. Yeah. Yeah.
But he lost here to Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah.
Tapped out to the chicken wing. Crossface chicken wing. So
Frankie goes in strong against Speedball.
Momentum.
He's got the momentum heading into Bound for Glory.
Got the momentum. And then we got a video package about the Kazarian Mike Bailey match. Tail of the tape at the end. Then we got a Mike Bailey. Oh, sorry, no. Then we got the video package for the world title bout between Josh Alexander and Ed Edwards. Yeah. And then the Mike Bailey video package. A lot of video packages.
Yeah. Then we had an actual match. Giselle Shaw versus Mia Yim. Mia Yim's looking to get what? Momentum heading into Bound for Glory. And Mickie James joined commentary to watch this match go down.
It was a good match, too.
Yeah, no, it was a really good match. Mia Yim got the win with Eat Defeat. And then Mickie got in the ring. And then her and Mia Yim started talking some shit to each other.
Then they got the Collier Shot Gauntlet video package, which apparently I only paid attention to the end of.
Well, apparently you only missed the one part about throwing over the top rope because I neglected to know that there was it's a regular match.
Together we get the whole thing.
That's just how it works with us, man.
Yep. Got that right.
We fill in each other pretty well.
Exactly. And then there's a Killer Kelly video package. So it's all, in line with what they've been doing, the red light, voiceover. And then towards the end, Tasha and Savannah run in and attack her.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a nice kind of twist on things.
It's kind of like you're putting together this little short film, and then they attack you, but then you still take the effort to edit it together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
And then Tasha says that she wants her revenge, and so she's going to be in the Collier Shot Gauntlet match, too.
After that, we have Brian Myers walking backstage. And he's just he's looking on the lookout for new opponents for his digital media title. He walks up to Singh and Shara, says, "You guys have 24 hours to decide which one of you challenges for my title." And then one of Eric Young's guys comes through. Security takes him away. He's like, "Oh, it's not going to be him." He's like, "Violence, no to your home.
My name is Violence.
Oh, I'm going to murder you in your home." And then Brian Myers walks up to Delirious, and he's like,
"No, in his house. No, in real life.
No, in real life." And then he walks up to a gal he thinks is Taurus's agent, and he says, Taurus is going to be embarrassed by the most professional wrestler. Or Mantar. He thought it was Mantar's agent, and he said, "Don't don't point your horns at me or something like that. Just ask Black Taurus." Something like that. It was something.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Then we got a Jordan Grace Masha video package. Then we had Moose versus Steve Macklin. Sammy Callahan.
Was like Impact match of the year, maybe. Because this shit was so fucking funny with Callahan just trolling as special guest ref. This was amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. He was kind of not exactly fulfilling his referee duties.
No.
Wasn't doing the 5 count in the corner.
No,
I think he quit counting a count out, 10 count. I don't know, like at 3.
He was just trying to make the crowd laugh. Like they'd be on the outside brawling, and then he'd stick his head out and go like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. At one point, Moose does something and goes, "Good job."
Good job.
So towards the finish, Moose hits the spear on Macklin, and so Sammy gets down to count the pin and then stops, and then picks up Moose and hits him with a cactus driver. Then he picks up Cutler, hits him with a cactus driver, then puts Macklin on top of Moose. He counts that pin, so Macklin wins.
Yeah, and then he starts thumbs upping, thumbs downing everybody. Thumbs up, thumbs down. That shit was so fucking funny. And then he raises Macklin's hand. "Good job, Steve Macklin." Throws it down.
But when he stopped counting the pin after Moose hit the spear, he gets up and does this.
He does the thumbs up, thumbs down thing. Oh, he's so mad. He's got that fucked up eye to him. Like, how are you going to be in this Collier shot? Your eyes.
I don't think he's going to be in it very long, man.
I don't think so either. Oh, this was great. I love Sammy Callahan.
And then we're backstage, and there's 2 gut check winners and 1 runner-up. I know one of them's name was Shogun.
Because he kept on referring to himself as Shogun. Yeah.
I don't know who the other 2 guys' names were.
Shogun was hilarious, though.
They're arguing about who's going to go and ask Scott D'Amore for the final spot in the Collier shot gauntlet. And then one of the dudes says to Shogun, rock, paper, scissors. Shogun agrees. Then he loses. Mm-hmm. So the other dude's about to go into Scott D'Amore's office. Joe Hendry walks out saying, I just got the last shot and the last spot in the Collier shot gauntlet. And then I believe in Joe Hendry. Sing along ensues.
They all start clapping their hands and they don't know why. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry.
After that, we had the Swingerellas versus Taya and Jessica. I like that this isn't even. Well, oh yeah, it is. It's Ty. It's Ty and Jessica going into the match, right? It's not Rosemary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a tune-up match, trying to get that momentum. They got the momentum pretty easily here, as they pick up the win. Vexed watches backstage. Taya hits a sliding German suplex, and Jessica falls with I forget what she calls that driver, but she hits it for the win.
It was
it's something cool. It's like a cool.
It was
name.
like some play on the Rikishi driver.
Yeah, I forget what it is.
Like Sikishi driver or something like that.
Is
that what it was?
I don't know.
It was something like that. I don't recall exactly, but it was something along those lines.
Yeah. After that, we had a Vexed interview, and Chelsea's like, we beat Rosemary and Taya so bad at Emergence that they had to repackage to whatever this is. Then Deanna says Jessica might be feeling sick, but I'm feeling ill because whatever that is repulsive. And this apparently isn't the first time we've broken up people's friendships. That's why they tend to call us bullies. And Chelsea says, not only going to walk out of Bound for Glory as tag champs, we're going to leave every person in there vexed.
Vexed,
bitch.
Then we got Matt Taven taking on Alex Shelley.
Throw him up. There we go.
This was overbooked towards the end, as you'd expect from an Honor No More bout.
Yeah, man.
So Shelley's looking for Shell Shock. Maria's on the apron to distract the ref. So then Mike Bennett gets in the ring and hits Shelley in the back. Shelley then ends up pushing him out of the ring. Taven rolls him up. Shelley kicks out. Taven's looking for the climax. Shelley escapes that, hits the Shell Shock to get the win.
Motor City.
No momentum.
After that, it shows earlier this week, Josh Alexander appeared on outside the ropes, not to be confused with inside the ropes, outside the ropes. And Josh is like, it's just what's his name, Hannifin's little talk show with an Impact, and he says, at Bound for Glory, we find out who the true heart and soul of Impact is. And then he's like, okay, Josh, thanks. The show wraps up. Eddie barges in like he tends to do at Edwards. He gets in Josh's face. But then Alicia steps in. Josh likes, my name's Bennett. And Eddie asks, well, whose side are you on? She says, I'm on your side, but this is too much, man. We got like bills stacking up at home. I'm doing the kids myself. I got to get them ready every day and figure out their lunches and stuff. And you're over here hanging out with Taven and Bennett and all them. And she's like, either this ends or this ends. The marriage ends.
Yeah.
He's like, go to your home. In real life.
In real life. Oh, that was funny. So then we got our main event segment, the Jordan Grace Masha contract signing. As Steve mentions, this was really good stuff. So first, Masha is going to sign the deal, and Scott D'Amore says, if you got anything to say, go ahead, and she puts the mic up and then puts it down and just signs, passes the contract along, and then Jordan says, well, I got something to say. She says, I truly respect you, Masha. You came to Impact, kicked the door in, and defeated everyone and worked your way to the top. She says, I know you want this title as much as I did when I was in your position, but you know what? I'm nowhere near ready to give it up. Yes, you're undefeated, but I'm a 2-time Knockouts champ, a former Knockout Tag champ, and I the first ever Digital Media champion. Those 3 titles made me the first ever Triple Crown Knockout Impact history. So while you may be undefeated, all that means is that you haven't had the opportunity to learn from losing. And that's a hard lesson to learn, but at Bound for Glory, I'm going to be the one to teach it to you. So then Jordan gets her pen out, signs the deal. And Scott's like, all right, we're all done here. Have a good night, everybody. And then Masha is like, hold on.
She raises her hand.
Grabs the mic,
yeah,
and then says something in Russian. And then Jordan's like, well, what does that mean? And then Masha says, it means Masha's going to kill you.
Yeah.
And then she flips the table over. Jordan makes a bit of a comeback, puts Masha on the top ropes looking for a muscle buster. Masha escapes that, hits Jordan with a back fist, and then puts Jordan through the table with a snowplow, picks up the Knockouts title, puts a foot on Jordan's chest, and holds that title up.
Yeah, it was really, really strong stuff. The entire time when Jordan was talking, Masha just had this look on her, this nonplussed look on her face, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to rip you from limb to limb. In your house, real life. All right, man. Hold on. It's time for our SmackDown preview. I got to call up Paul. Hold on.
All right.
All right, here we go. Hello?
All right, Triple H, time for a SmackDown preview.
Which one is this? Which one is this?
It's Larson. This is Larson.
All right, because I can never tell you guys apart.
I'm the one with the beard.
Yeah, I'm not going to remember that. All right, no, first up, look, man, I've had this in the bag for weeks now. I've got this long-term plan situation. We've got Survivor Series coming up. Very exciting. Extreme Rules, Crown Royal. I love that you guys refer to it as Crown Royal. It makes me laugh, but I can't say that in front of the Saudis. All right, so listen, first up, Roman Reigns comes face-to-face with Logan Paul on the season premiere of SmackDown. Does that get you excited, Larson?
Not terribly, no, but, maybe it'll make for good television.
You think Steve is excited about this?
Yeah, Logan Paul is Steve's favorite wrestler.
Oh, man, he's phenomenal. He's an influencer, global. Next up, Sheamus to challenge Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship on the season premiere of SmackDown. Are you excited for this, Larson?
Yeah, it should be really fun, but we're not going to have a decisive winner here, are we?
Isn't this already a much better card than anything the Enforcer could put together?
I don't know why I have to bring Enforcer into this. We're talking about SmackDown tonight.
That guy's trash. In Spanish, his name would be Basura.
Yeah, I know what trash is in Spanish. Thank you.
It's Basura. Get it? Because he's trash.
Yeah, I get it. So what else is on the card?
Oh, man, who do you think's going to win this Sheamus versus Gunther match?
I don't think there's going to be it might be a DQ finish, but I don't think
Wrong. We don't do that crap anymore. That's a dad thing, not a Triple H thing, not a Paul thing. Definitive finish.
All right, Gunther wins then, because Sheamus isn't going to win the Intercontinental title on SmackDown.
I love Walter. He's great. Too bad his dad gave him a crap name. All right, moving on. Last on my preview. I'm just going to give you a little taste of this entertainers. Ricochet looks for payback on Solo Sikoa. Guess who's going to win that match?
Oh, that's going to be Solo Sikoa. Game.
Yeah. I'll give you spoiler alert. Solo Sikoa's going to win this match.
All right.
Ricochet's got lots of cool flippy moves and stuff, but there's not a lot going on otherwise.
So is that it for SmackDown? Anything else? Anything else we can
it's
expect?
jam-packed, but I can just give you a little taste. This is a preview. I'm not going to give you the whole thing. I'm not going to give you the whole steak. You just get some of the baked potato here.
Oh, you're going to give us a baked potato. All right.
You want to see my baked potato?
No, thank you.
Yeah, you do. Look down. It's my ball sack. All right, I got to go. Stop interrupting me.
All right, have a good one.
All right, hey, if you see Enforcer, tell him he's trash. Bye.
Well, I won't say that, but all right, bye.
He's already off the phone.
Man, he's a handful.
He is a handful. He's got a lot going on, but he's very peppy these days and in a good mood. He
is in a good mood. I really don't want to hear him in a bad mood.
No, you don't. No, absolutely not.
Especially, he
just
takes
don't go around
the
him.
task as is. Imagine if he was grumpy.
Just don't get around him when the Enforcer's there, because boy, he gets into a bad mood. He's like, what is his third man garbage? Going in Raw's Steven Larson. It's like, geez, you sound like a YouTube comment right now, Triple H. It's messed up.
Maybe I am.
I'm global influencer.
It's a comment from Cerebral Assassin 1234.
Suck at 69. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you tonight for SmackDown for Glory. Watch along, and then tomorrow for the Extreme Rules. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.